Hello, hello, hello. This is V. Scott. Today I'll be reading an article to you about Frankie Frank, Frankie Frank Little Jr. That was his name, Frankie Frank Little Jr. His remains were finally identified after 4 decades, almost. Okay, so that's been almost 40 years that his remains were unidentified in a garbage bag. So I'm going to go ahead and read the article to you. It's a long since cold case that's suddenly been solved. Human remains discovered back in the 80s, in the 80s, in a garbage bag have finally been identified as Frankie Little Jr. I said the name wrong, I'm sorry. So it's Frankie Little Jr. I had said the name wrong, excuse me. The guitarist and songwriter for the Ojays. In 1982, police found the garbage bag behind a business in Twinsburg, Ohio. At the time, they could tell the person had been stabbed to death several years prior, but they were not able to figure out his identity. It was only 2 months ago when a breakthrough came courtesy of DNA technology and a nonprofit organization. Police explained in October 2021 the DNA Doe Project provided the names of potential relatives who were able to provide Frank's name. Police say that the close relative of Little's provided a DNA sample which was analyzed by a crime lab, and sure enough, Frank's identity was confirmed. Frank played with the Ojays in the R&B group early days, writing several songs, including "Pretty Words." Oh Lord, there. I'm sorry, it tried to come on me while I'm reading this. So Frank played with the Ojays in the R&B group's early days, writing several songs, including "Pretty Words" and "Oh How You Hurt Me." It wouldn't be until after his tenure that the group scored its biggest hits, including Backstabbers and Backstabbers and other ones. What was the other one? Backstabbers. Oh, I can't remember. Anyway, so after his run, so they keep on trying to come up here. I'm getting real upset. Okay, so I was reading the article and I was reading it off of the things, and it kept just trying to play these OJ songs. So basically, I'm just going to wrap it all up because I don't have time for YouTube trying to, you know. So the Ojays, they got success after he was gone. He went to the army and he was in the army for 2 years. He came back to his hometown. After he came back to his hometown, he ended up missing, and the family didn't know where he was, and now they do. They see that he was actually deceased. So that's that right there. So the man has been missing for 40 years to his family, but he was really deceased, unfortunately. And I just couldn't even imagine, and I'm sure none of you could imagine, a 40-year wait, not knowing, and then who knows what family members went on not knowing where their family member was, or what even happened to them. So the police really need to do better in making sure that they solve these cases. I know that they have an overload. I know that they're pretty busy with things, but maybe they could figure out how to outsource or something. Figure out some things so you can start solving these cases, so you won't have 40-year-old murder cases being solved. That is totally ridiculous, and it happens all the time. He is not the only one. It's many cases like this that aren't solved, and then they get solved 40 years later. Where is the justice? Where is the true justice in that for anyone? Because a lot of times, 40 years later, right? Sometimes people aren't here anymore. Let's go ahead and be realistic. Sometimes people aren't here anymore, or if they are here, some of them are, pretty old, and it's just a mess. 40 years later, it's just a mess because, what age was he, and what age was this person when they committed this crime, right? You see what I mean? Like, 40 years later is unacceptable. It's unacceptable, but I'm happy that they are starting to investigate. They're going to be investigating to find out who committed this murder, because that's what it is. They're going to be investigating. So I want to say thank you for coming. Be blessed. Have a great one. And I hope this wasn't too harsh for you. Oh, yeah. And if you like the commentary, like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you.